And Buddha, the historical Buddha, has found for himself a way, after having studied with several Indian masters and discovered they have given me a lot, but I still have to deal with the most basic question of my life, which is how can I be happy in a way that is not dependent on outer conditions and therefore changing and fragile. And so he's with all he had received, he sat down under the Bodhi tree and has come to a conclusion, to a solution that is so far-fetched and so close at the same time that at first he thought, I cannot communicate this. This is not understandable. And after a while he changed his mind, fortunately. And so this is how Buddhism started, at least in our times. The idea of Buddhism is something that is, like everything else, all manifestation, our world, our universe, without a certain point of beginning and without an end, but going up and down. There are times where Buddhism is available and times where it is not. There are times where spirituality generally is more available and more appreciated, and there are other times where it is not. And I think nowadays it is not. It's not so highly appreciated that you have really big people like in Buddha's times. You had the king who was supporting it and rich people supporting it. Nowadays, it's more the sports stars and Hollywood stars that get the big support. But still, there's many people who feel that life should offer something more than what they're getting out of it and are searching for these. And I myself had to deal with the question of, I have this Buddhism now that I deeply appreciate, but there's so much Tibetan stuff around, and I don't want really to be a Tibetan researcher, but somehow I have to deal with it. And so to understand also what really belongs to the Tibetan culture and what is universal to all humans. So these are things I had to deal with, and everyone has to deal with one or another form when we are presented with Buddhism. But I hope for all of you, and me included, that it will not keep us from seeing the deeper truth and making it something that can, if not transform, at least enrich our life. So I think this is enough for the background, and if you have any questions about this now or also upcoming, then please do so. And don't be shy. I appreciate it if you get involved in communication. We are too many. Otherwise, I would ask you what your background is in order to know already what you expect from tonight. Maybe I just ask who of you has practiced Buddhist meditation in one form or another already? And are there people who are totally new to Buddhism? Okay, welcome. Thank you for coming, for being courageous. Okay, I have to make some notes so that I don't get mixed up in the structure. Okay, what I thought what we will do tonight is I will present in an overview way the Tibetan Buddhist approach to working with emotions, and then we can have a discussion, and in the end I thought we could also have a little meditation together in order to give an experience to that. Will depend also how long everything takes. So let's start just with the emotions. When we talk about emotions, then the first question is, what is an emotion? And of course, with so many things, as we talk about emotions, that we mean different things. When I say it, when you say it, we might not mean the same thing. You all know it has to do with the mind. It arises in the mind. One definition would be to say it is a thought with a lot of energy. when we talk about emotion in the common way, then I think we have in mind these very juicy passions, something we can feel, something we can talk about. For the Tibetans, it is more subtle, or you could say it is something that starts earlier. When you have the big expression, this is just the tip of the iceberg, but there's something that started way down there. And so we first have to maybe have a look at what Tibetans or Buddhists say about the mind. What is the mind? How does the mind function? The Buddha said the mind at its basis is just open space and intelligence. Intelligence in the sense of knowing. The mind has the capacity to know clearly, and especially the capacity to know itself. The problem that happened, and no one knows how, is that we made a mistake. In this openness, we created a separation from me, the one who is perceiving something, and out there, that what is perceived. It can be the outer world, or other people. And then the separation of feeling there's someone who is experiencing it and has feelings and is digesting it, so there's a definite sense of a me that is separate from what is happening out there. This implies that there's a relationship between me, the perceiver, and the outside perception. And when you have a relationship, you have reactions. And the Buddhists say, and it is so simple that you might be offended that your mind could be working so simply, the Buddhists say you have basically three kinds of reaction to whatever comes up, whatever you have a relationship to. One reaction is that you feel this is something that is enhancing your sense of self. It is supporting your sense of self. You like it, you would like to have more of it, it's pleasant, so you develop a sense of attachment, desire for it. Yeah? It's pleasant, you want it, and you want more. That is one thing, and so as we like it, we grab for it. The other reaction, if it is something that feels threatening to our sense of self, which is making us angry, something that is feeling unpleasant, then we want to put it to the side and we want to do everything to push it away. And those reactions are all in the category of anger or rejection. Or else we don't really care about it. We don't have either of these reactions, but we don't feel particularly connected. And so we have a neutral or indifferent relationship to what is experienced. And so these three are our basic functions, how we deal with whatever we perceive. It's pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral, and we interact with it by attachment, rejection, or indifference. And so in the Buddhist teachings, these three are called the three poisons. Starting already with these very subtle reactions of pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral that we don't really notice in our mind.